asset to that group. He attends all the meetings anyway. I don't think you've missed a one.
That's probably great.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone fine with that?
Yes.
And we've got an opening now on the, I think you've got that down there, but anyway, on the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission, and it's got to be, it can't be a person in office, it needs to be a person, just a citizen, either that actually owns a business or not necessarily that, but they've got to be where they can attend these meetings, and they're in Rome or Calhoun, and they're once a month. So it's kind of hard, you know, to find someone that can take off, and sometimes we'll meet in between, you know, it'll be as needed really, but we always meet every month. So that's something, we'll be looking for that person to go. And so 4C, this is resolution R-28-22, the reappointment of Donna Street to the Dade County Library Board of Trustees, and that's kind of a no-brainer because Donna's, man, she puts a lot of time, man, in it. I mean, she puts her heart to it. So, you know, but everybody fine with her on that? Okay. All right. All right. Let's move down to this is one I was talking about, Resolution R-29. This is the appointment to the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission. That's something I want all of you to kind of look in the communities and there's the right person out there. You know, I mean, one thing about Peter, he had time, and I don't think he missed. Out of the years he was on, I think he missed one meeting. You know, he just, you know, so it was, I think that's when he and Betty was sick. So he did attend, we were well represented with Peter there. Move down to E, 4E. This is our proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I do have that here with me. We'll have some people here, I think. Y'all want to come on up, and I'll do the presentation, and we'll get maybe a picture. Y'all want to come up and stand? Y'all welcome to come up, the commissioners, y'all want to.
Photo opportunity.
This is a way proclamation. You want to read it off. It is long. But it is a proclamation of Child Abuse Prevention Month. This is, it just says that we already got part of it. I believe Board of Commissioners, Dade County, Georgia, they hereby proclaim April 2021. You got 21 on there.
Sorry, 22.
I'm sorry.
I'll fix that.
2022 is Child Abuse Prevention Month in Dade County.
Brother.
And our families and communities have become involved in protecting their Dade County children. So we appreciate all of those. They really, special group, you know, we do it for you. Please go on. Oh, good. There you go. Thank you. Y'all come on around here and we'll get a picture. Yeah, just get right there in front. We'll just get all together here. These are wide angles.
We have the whole crease that way.
We're not centered.
There we go, you're good.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Good night. Appreciate it. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Very nice. Oh, yeah. Lovely.
That's one of those pinwheels out there on the square. See how many kids they had.
Okay. Move down to 4F. This is a proclamation of the Confederate History Month of Remembrance, Dade County Camp. This is the month of April 2022. We have anybody here from the, usually they're here every year.
Yeah.
We might want to redo it next month because they usually have a group of people here. But this is a proclamation. We've been doing this for many years, and if they want to come to us, we'll do it again next week. Next month. We'll that. Okay, let's move down to the 4G, proclamation in recognition of National Arbor Day by Tree City. Eloise, anyone here tonight from Tree City? Nope. Okay, I'll give that to her tomorrow. And that's another special group of people there. I mean, they put a lot of work into that throughout the year as far as planting trees and doing a lot around the square here, keeping Eloise especially. You know, she does a lot of work people don't realize, but we appreciate her. Move down to 4H. This is a proclamation recognition of National Donate Life Month, April 2022. We've been doing this now for about, what, 6 years now? 5 or 6 years, and everybody's fine with that, I'm sure. Okay, all right. We can move on down to number 5. This is our approval of SPOS or capital equipment. Jamie Blevins, you want to come up and talk to us? This is on the pertaining to the historic courthouse restoration project.
So we got a couple of things. You guys got a monthly project update. That'll be going forward every month. You'll get that.
Is that mic working? Can everybody hear him? Is he coming?
I can speak louder.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So you'll get those every month. There will be a little more detail as we start to get further into the project. The other thing that's happened this month that was done after we got the report done was our first bid process was completed. So we sent request for proposals out for mechanical, plumbing, and electrical. We did that twice for mechanical and electrical due to lack of interest the first go around. So still didn't get very much interest on the mechanical side, but we did end up getting 3 qualified acceptable bids on electrical, which is good. So you guys should have this in your packet. It looks like this. It's just a kind of a basic tab sheet. Mechanical, Reeves Heat and Air was our only, therefore low bidder. They came in at $169,028. For bonding, they will provide a letter of credit upon award of the bid. Plumbing, the only plumbing bid we got is Tri-State Enterprise. They're at $46,935. There is no bid requirement for them because the bid threshold is $50,000. And then electrical, our 3 bidders were Lawson Electric, Tri-State Electrical, and Capital City Electrical. So Capital City's out of the Atlanta area. Lawson and Tri-State are both local. Lawson was the low bidder at $123,025. So those would be our recommendations to move forward. Now, one thing to note, implication on budget here, mechanical is way out in left field on what we had budgeted. Reeves did our budget. I talked to Billy about the disparity there. It was the budget process being more of a napkin sketch kind of approach versus nuts and bolts of putting the bid together. The flip side of that is Lawson came in significantly lower than our electrical budget, so the net effect on the budget is relatively small to the overall budget of the project, in the neighborhood of 1% or so. So I'm still comfortable with our budget. I'm comfortable that there's money that can be allocated to cover that disparity that we've got right now and keep the budget where it needs to be. But I don't want to ever come up here and present something that's not accurate to you guys. So if you look at the net effect on line item to line item, it's about a $27,000 increase to those 3 line items. But like I said, when you go through the budget and we reallocate the funds that for demo that we had, that we can reallocate some funds to that money. We're carrying that contingency line item. There's also some general conditions line items that would be applied to these trades because there's not a general contractor on the project. So I didn't want to make any of those changes without making this presentation to you, but depending on your decision on how we move forward, we'll reallocate funds in the budget where they need to be to accurately represent kind of each trade's scope and make sure that we're getting a true assessment on the budget impact. So given the fact that we went through 2 rounds on mechanical, electrical, and I'm comfortable with the plumbing number, it's within 2.5% or so. That's my recommendation, is that we approve Reeves Heat and Air, Tri-State Enterprise, and Lawson Electric to move forward with phase 1 on the project.
Who's Tri-State is Enterprise? Is that?
That's Sutton. So
Okay, so he's a local. It's a local
he
person.
is local.
Okay.
So, and I'm terrible with names, but Brian's
Yeah.
dad, they
Jim Sutton.
yes, they
Yeah.
partnered up and created Tri-State Enterprise
Okay.
versus it used to be Sutton Plumbing. So.
What, Don, what of this now, are we gonna be able to pay out of the, they are,
The mechanical.
all the mechanical, will come,
Well, and we also,
just
so
like we did the jail.
speaking to that, we also had the electricians price an alternate for the mechanical, so we know what the mechanical electrical hookup cost is, and that's separate. So the base bid from Lawson's $112,680. The HVAC portion of the electrical scope is $10,405. So if that can be rolled into the mechanical side of things, because that's necessary for the mechanical to operate.
Some of it could.
Yeah,
Well,
Go around the table, Philip, what do you think?
What do we got any provision in there for price increases?
Like change orders, is that what you're talking about?
No,
Just
just the way prices
general
escalate.
4%, or we got any 4%?
So we're carrying a 10% contingency on the overall
10%,
project.
okay.
yeah.
I know that some other jobs I've heard 4 and 7, and it's not enough for
Right,
what's
so
coming.
what I will tell all you guys is the sooner decisions can be made to lock these prices in, the better, because price increases are coming on some materials every month right now.
I know the mechanical side just got one April the 1st,
Yeah, so,
and it was probably, 7%, I think.
yeah, so it's very common right now to get those notices on a monthly basis, whereas we used to get them once a year, right? So, the sooner we get this stuff locked down, we can get contracts issued, they can get POs out, we can get the material and the equipment locked down. That's gonna be better for the project overall. We'll also tell you that lead times right now are kind of absurd. So some of this mechanical equipment could take up to 12 weeks to get at this point. Light fixtures, we're not especially concerned about right now. They're in this package, but we're gonna be purchasing them at today's price. We'll warehouse them and put them in when we get to the finished product. But the driver here is how long does it take to get that mechanical equipment in? And in my mind, that's going to dictate when we actually start construction. So if we're at 12-week lead time on mechanical units, we're not going to start construction now and have to stop waiting on units to get here. So
Anything else, Mr. Hartline?
As far as Lawson and Tri-State, I mean, they were comparing apples to apples, correct?
yeah, I scoped them both out. So
I worry about it when they're
Now-
$30,000 difference.
yeah, I was concerned with Lawson, so I grilled them pretty hard to make sure they had the scope covered. Tri-State helped us budget it, so you always want to make sure that when you get the bid day, when somebody helps you budget it, you're getting apples to apples, and I'm confident that they have the same scope.
Okay.
It is a big difference, yeah.
It is.
Lamar?
That was the only question I had, was the $30,000 difference.
Yeah, so the only thing up in the air, the lighting schedule calls for some ceiling fans that are owner supplied. So that's the only thing that's not accounted for in the bids on electrical. We've got
Ceiling fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the other light fixtures are included. We've got data lines ran back to a general location. Obviously owner supplies racks and network switches and all that stuff. So we do have all the data cabling and all that stuff included as well.
Why were they not included? Why were they not included?
The ceiling fans, that's what the drawings call for.
I know,
It's odd, yes, but you're talking about $200 item, that's just
I know.
probably $1,200 cost overall, so
I know,
that's
that
not,
don't make, yeah.
I guess, the architect wasn't comfortable picking out ceiling fans, so.
Yeah.
Sound like a Walmart item, doesn't it?
Right,
Mr. Bradford?
No, I'm good. I'm comfortable with it, yeah.
Mr. Goff?
I'm good like you asked, if the electrical's apples to apples, because that is a lot, but then it jumps on even farther than that if you go to capital.
yeah, our third
city, so-
bidder was way out in left field,
Yeah,
so that's why I scoped out the bottom two guys pretty tough, and if Lawson was a fly-by-night that, we didn't know and hadn't had a 100-year track record.
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah,
would be
they've been
much
around
more
for-
hesitant to say, let's go with them, but I'm comfortable that they can get the job done, and if they've missed something, they'll fix it, so,
Yeah, I've worked with them a lot too, so.
yeah.
On the mechanical side, what units, what did they?
So their trained unit spec,
Okay.
that would be my one recommendation, is that we award to Reeve, that we take a little bit of time, kind of hit pause and go try to BE this thing a little bit with them, see if we can find some more economical units. They also have some ductless mini splits in the project that have a very limited run on refrigerant lines you can make. So they have a special package in the drawings that allows you to run them longer, right? Well, that's a pretty big cost. So if we can figure out a way to disguise those in the landscaping and get them closer where the cartridges will be, we can save some money there too. So I think there's money to be saved there. We're not going to cut it in half though.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Now, we know where the mechanicals come from, the rest of it's lost.
The rest of it's Boston. I mean, I know if they were to start today, if it's approved tonight, how long do you think it's gonna take?
we'll
on the
issue
electrical to
contracts.
get going? I mean, we're just in a queue for that company to,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some language in there that they've got so much time
yeah.
to get started, and we'll have to set that in the contract and that kind of stuff. And if there's something on the county side that dictates we need to start construction sooner than I may want to, we can do that.
Right.
But again, from a general scheduling perspective, it's gonna be much better long-term if we know our end date and know when we're gonna have this equipment here that's critical to get everything hooked up versus running guys in and out over several months.
I feel comfortable with it. I mean, for these numbers
Yeah.
so far, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
guess
we're good.
the short version from my end is if you approve it, there will be contracts issued within a week, which
Right.
commits the cost from the county, right? So,
Right. The only thing we've got coming up big is I mean, we're still paying on some striping.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost done. We're striping roads, 2 weeks ago, I think, so I know there's another bill coming. And also the sheriff's vehicles that were approved long ago, they've been ordered for all that time, and we still don't have them.
They don't know, they don't know
But
what that
we'll,
is.
you know, that money will be there as well, so I feel pretty good. I mean, I feel confident about it. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
We can use the other fund, the ARPA funds, for sure, right out on mechanical. We do have that option now because the final rule came down from the federal government on ARPA funds that we can designate. I mean, we could designate 100% of it because we qualify. Some counties don't qualify, but we do qualify for 100% of it to go toward revenue replacement. Spoke with ACCG, Tooney, what's his name? Tooney. I can't think of his first name. Anyway, representative there, and he said, you know, you could do that, but he would recommend maybe not doing 100%. And he made a good case, and I don't have that in front of me to read right now, but maybe even 80 or 90% you could do. You don't have to do any. I mean, you can just leave it alone. But that is we're hopefully going to get the other half of that money around the second week of May. At least we think we will. We'll wait and see if it comes in the bank account. But I mean, you could use some of that, if not all of that.
Well,
So,
yeah.
so you have a backup plan, is what I'm getting at.
All right, is everybody fine? We'll put it on the consent agenda. You got anything?
I got one more. I'm assuming our bid bond was 5%, payment and performance bond 100%.
pay performance bond at 100%.
All right, explain to what that covers.
So payment performance bond is actually two different bonds.
Right.
So the payment bond ensures that Lawson or whoever will pay their bills,
Right.
right? So that protects you from a payment perspective. Performance bond, that covers you in the event that they fail to perform or meet their contractual obligations. So if we get in a situation where we're headed towards a lawsuit, having that bond in place gives you the ability to notify the bonding company, and they start putting pressure on the sub because they don't want to be in a situation where they got to pay out to finish the job, right? So the performance aspect of it allows you to have some confidence and peace of mind that there's a bigger company backing up getting that work done, right? So I had a boss one time that said it's really just a ticket to the fight, but it's an important ticket to have, right? So that's why municipalities typically always require bonds over a threshold, a cost threshold, and it's pretty common for contractors once you get to a certain size project to require subs as well. So I absolutely recommend that they be provided and included, but that's the purpose of them.
Okay.
Now, like with Reeves providing the letter of credit, that essentially is in lieu of a bond, and that's issued from the bank, which says, hey, this guy's
The
got
money's there. That means
to fund the project.
Absolutely.
That's what I was wondering. I know I do mine with a check or
And we'll-
proof of credit, but I wondered, is there any money that we could shave if we done away with that?
Yeah, so
with them?
Lawson's bond rate will be low. I can call and get it and see what it is, but it will be low.
Reeves was about $10,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the last
Yeah,
one,
so-
$10,900 something dollars. So that's $10,000 we saved
Yeah.
right there.
Yes.
You know, so, yeah.
And the way the letters of credit work, we'll make sure it's written as an irrevocable letter of credit to the county, so if they default, we can take that letter straight to the
so
county.
Reeves coming in with a letter, he's probably not got that number in his base bid.
There is no cost for the irrevocable letter of credit, and it's not gonna be an additional cost to you, even if he has to pay for it. So, I will check with Lawson and see what the bond rate is. We may be able to go the letter of credit route with those guys as well. But again, that's a decision for you guys to make.
Okay. Any other questions for Dan? Okay,
I'm good.
let's move
got
on
just
then.
a couple
So we
more
are talking
things.
about
Put it on.
Reeves Heating and Air,
That's right,
Tri-State Enterprise.
and Lawson,
And Lawson, okay.
those three.
So we talked a little bit last month about the elevator shaft. We are still working through that sole source process with the state system. It's a little more complicated, just putting something out. But we do have that cost in. So it's an hourly rate from Blue Moose. It's $250 an hour. It's 1 day's worth of work, so you're looking probably $2,500 max to do
You're
that.
gonna put that drain, we're out,
Yeah, so that
south
will
or
be part
coming
of
up?
the
Yeah.
part of the next package I'll talk about.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so that's some costs, and once we get that put together, I'll get to you guys to do. That's just an inspection of the interior
Yeah.
of the shaft. Blue Moose is pretty confident that the inside of the shaft is good, so if that's the case, that will be fantastic. That will be
Oh,
nice
yeah.
budget savings. We will have to do some repairs on the outside of the shaft, but that's visible without those guys. So the other packages that we'll be getting out this month, which will tie into when we start, right? We want to kind of do all this at once so we don't have, again, long strung out periods of work going on. Will be the stormwater, which will be that one line tying the trench drain in to the storm sewer. And then there's also a French drain on the other side that they're showing to put in as well. So that will be a package, and then we'll also send a package out for dumpsters and portable toilets, just so we get competitive bids on all those, but that'll be, calling and getting prices from folks. So that's what will be discussed at the next meeting.
Okay. Good enough. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Danny.
All right. Let's move down. Alex, you still here? Come on in. This is the purchase of the generator and automatic transfer switches for our, over to Justice Building. Or a jail.
And we were looking at projects that qualified for the ARC funding when it first hit, and one of those was some of the HVAC upgrade to the sheriff's office that Captain Chambers dealt with, and then we also had an issue when we do lose power. We've got 90-something souls over there, all of our food and stuff, and things that the current generator will not hold. So we went out for RFP. We had to cancel the first one due to some issues we run across, backed it up and sent out the RFP again. We've been doing some due diligence. Stacy's been working with Georgia Power. We've been doing for years. We've been having surges into the Justice Building and some in here. We fought hard drive issues and stuff for years before we moved to solid states. We think we've got a transformer issue. The transformer is sitting in the back of the Justice Building that feeds this 2,000 amp service to this building and 1,000 amp service to the Justice Building. We meeting with the contractors when Stacy was there, Georgia Power opened it up, and we realized we were in didn't realize that this building was fed off of it. We considered that it was fed off the other corner of the building here. So Tri-State Electric was the company that was helping us with some of this, and so we canceled the bid for the installation of this generator because there's still some more engineering we've got to do. We feel there could be some transfer. Stacy and I both were working on this, so we're waiting on a study for the power rating for the meter that feeds both of these buildings to see where some of our peaks are. We're really not sure what the issue is, but we got to step through some more before we can install this. Went ahead and opened we only had one bid turned in, which was Lawson Electric. Tri-State was here working on that other power issue. We didn't feel it was comfortable to take in bids when we still got more planning to do and meeting with the contractors to bid it. So we went ahead and canceled that, let Lawson know, returned their package to them, and we opened the bids for the generators. We had 6 bids. 2 of them were local for Cummings South and Stowers Cat out of Chattanooga. The generator services, W.W. Williams, they're out of South Carolina, W.W. Williams out of Atlanta, Georgia, Power and Energy out of Powder Springs, Georgia, and American Generators out of Miami, Florida. The higher cost for total package of the generator and the transfer switch range from $101,000 all the way down to $75,000 being the lowest. The 2 locals out of Chattanooga are our closest, and we actually work with both of them now, and our current generators that are currently in our 911 fleet, our EMA fleet through the water company and the sewer departments. And we have more Stour equipment than we do with the other from the previous bids that we was won from the generator project we done on the hazard mitigation funding. One of the things that caught our eye when we was going through it, Stour's had a 1,000 amp generator, 250 kW, that was on a previous job, and that job was canceled, and they actually bought it back. When that system was purchased and bought from the company, it come with a 10-year warranty factory from CAT and a 2-year on the second warranty. The 2 years is pretty standard on the ASCO transfer switch. It's also got a larger diesel rating for, we had 24 hours in the bid. This one's got a 120-hour run time. It's a 2,700 gallon tank. It's got a better enclosure for hurricane proof. This company, again, the job canceled, and Stour's had it on staff, and they're trying to get it out. It's readily available sitting in Knoxville. All the other units are 40 weeks, at least 40 weeks on 5 of them, and one is 29 to 30 weeks if something was to go. So, again, this is information for you back on ARPA funding. The decision would be to either fund this or not. My recommendation would be with the Stour's unit of the longer 10-year warranty time. We currently have a lot, like I said, that's one of our bigger generator fleets, and we have a lot of them on a monitoring service now because the remote water, the remote ones we have, we got to know when they don't crank or have an issue and things like that. Another thing, too, the technicians that we call upon live in Dade County for Stour's that live up on the north end.
How much do you think we can be able to salvage to sell the old generator?
Well, we're wanting to rebuy another transfer switch and move it to the shop. Right now, we're using the older generator that was at the North Tower when we upgraded it in '09. It's not enough to run the entire shop. We'd like to reuse it because it's got a lot of life left in it. It's going to need a new transfer switch. The transfer switch that is in the jail now only runs 1/10 of what the generator is capable of. The wiring is not big enough to handle it. So the biggest part of this the biggest pricing we still got to do is the installation. We do have to rent a generator to run the Justice Building for 30 plus hours or more. Now that this building is on that same transformer, we've got to cut this building off. We're going to have to work with the state agencies in below us. And
For how long?
could be 3 or 4 hours till we get it back on. But we've also got a lot to dig under and dig over and under. That's the issues now. We know what's underground. There's 3,000 amps of underground cable coming across that back parking lot of the gravel that's fenced in behind it. We got to find it. Part of it we got to dig up, put into the new transfer switch, and rewire in. So there's a lot of engineering going on there that we run into some bumps. But thought we'd go ahead and see what the equipment is while we had it, and we had those bids. And we only had 2 contractors that come and bid on it. It was Tri-State Electric and Lawson Electric that come to us on pre-bid and showed up to look at the site.
Okay.
Again, this was some of the things that we were asked to put together that could qualify for the ARPA funding to keep the jail running and the HVAC upgrades to keep them isolated from fresh air and all things divided out by their designation of their wings and stuff.
Mr. Hartline, you got a question? I'll go around the table.
The only thing about Stour's, it's just got a longer runtime, correct?
Yes, it's just got a longer run time and a 10-year warranty.
Yeah.
Then one of them was a Rolls-Royce brand, 2 of them were a Blue Star Power, and the other one was a Triton. And I haven't heard of them, know of them. And one of them everything was an ASCO transfer switch, 300, which ASCO's the brand that we currently have here for this building for the 911, and what's currently going to put into the storm shelters, and that Thompson power transfer switch I don't know much about them.
Lamar?
I've dealt with both of these coming south and Stour's Cat of Chattanooga at the hospital. That was my that was my field with the generators. One thing I'll say for Stowers, they did all our PM and our service work because it's a lot more cost effective than coming south. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just,
we currently contract with Stowers for the 911, the current generator that runs the jail, all the 911 generators, all the water department and sewer generators. The
May
water
we-
department pays for them and the city pays for them, but they are our generators under emergency management. That MOU required them to maintain and keep them up.
and used generators, you can't, with that much, we sold one for, we just about gave it away. So if you can use it, my recommendation.
Well, the current one that's there for the 600 amp that runs this building has been here since '03. The current one for 911.
Yeah.
And we've already had, radiator stopped up, we had to do some major work on it, and, we've rebuilt that little one, I think, twice for the jail.
Ms. Bradford?
I guess the warranty, it being longer, is it, the qualifications under it, is it better?
Yes, it's the whole thing from
The whole thing?
Ometer, motor,
Not
everything.
just that it's a longer,
Yeah,
okay,
it's just something that they purchased or bought. You have an option to buy these, and we had an option to do it with the ones we bought on the hazard mitigation grant, but we just didn't have the funds to do it.
And that 10 years doesn't start until it's actually put into service.
Cranked, on site, ready to go. Yep.
that would be my only question, if it was longer but not as good, or, but that's all I got.
Mr. Goff?
This does qualify under the ARP money.
100%.
Okay,
Good. I'm good with it.
all right. Thank you, Alex.
Yep, thank you.
We'll go ahead and put that on the consent agenda. Everybody fine with it? so-
Stowers, right?
Stowers, yeah.
Yeah, what now?
Stowers.
Howard, yeah. All right, let's move down to the number 7. This is the ordinance number 0505-22. This is, will this be the second reading on this?
No, this will be the
First reading on
Yeah.
it. All right. First reading on it. Lamar, you want to comment on this?
Well, I've worked on this for about a year and with a lot of help from Robin too. And Judge Carter, she helped me some on it too. So took a lot of work, but I think what we've seen out of Ukraine in the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it's been going on, those people were out there practicing with plywood guns to learn how to protect themselves. And if that were to happen here in America, we would be armed if we protect our Second Amendment rights, and this is, and we're having to protect them from our federal government is the problem. And so I'd like to, I know y'all all seem to agree on it. When I got it finished, I went and talked to Ted. He was the first one I went and talked to about it, and his comment was it's the right thing to do, and I appreciate that. So I'd like for us to approve this first reading. The sheriff's totally behind it. I've got hundreds of signatures on them that I don't think I need, but I've got hundreds of signatures, so.
I think the biggest, the majority of the county is behind it, but if they really read it, understand, what we're trying to do, and, but you got any comments, Mr. Hartline?
No, I'm good with it.
All right. Ms. Bradford?
I'm good. Yeah.
Scott? All right, I'm fine. We'll just put it on the consent agenda. Move down to number 8. This is our intergovernmental agreement between Dade County and the Board of Education. This is for the school's use of our county sports complex for the middle school softball. What is that V2, Hartline? What does it say?
Version.
DMS.
Version 2, and
Okay, version
so
2.
so the history, I prepared a draft to the school board. They had some requested changes to it, and that's the version 2 that you see there. Let me also say that I've had some further discussions with the school board, and they have agreed to some of our requested language on the provision regarding our discretion about when the fields could be used or not due to weather, inclement weather, and that sort of thing. So they were able to putting that back in. On the issue of indemnifying the county, they had agreed to provide us with a liability insurance coverage, I think, of up to $1 million.
That's good.
So those are subsequent changes to those that you have in front of you. But with that, I think they're good to go.
Okay. Mr. Hartline, you fine with it? Just kind of your,
Yeah, I'm good with it. I mean, they're talking about the weather conditions, and both parties know that if it's just sloppy wet, that they can't.
but it should be ultimately up to us to
Yes.
decide that, because it is our fields that would be torn up, you know, I mean, it should be our
Since we
call.
got the safety coat on the field now, it's way better than it was, so
Yeah.
them getting rained out is not near as likely.
Yeah. All right. You got any comment?
But it's a year-to-year contract, so it's something new, so I think Philip's done a good job, him and Stacy, getting this put together.
Ms. Bradford?
I'm good with it, yeah.
Mr. Kyle?
Yeah, my only question, I talked to Stacy, was well, and that it is a year-to-year contract, is that stuff continues to go up like everything else.
Right.
So, but we've got an out on that in as much as either party can get out of it in a year.
That's right.
If that increases, we would just have to increase, if we keep it, we'd have to
Yeah.
increase to 5,000.
True.
I'm good with that.
And the money, the 5,000 is not to pay for the labor. They played the other day when it rained, but they played on a Tuesday, but Stacy and them spent time on a Monday blowing the fields off to get the water off it so they could play. Well, they could have been working somewhere else. So it's not, we're trying to make money, we're trying to help for them to be able to play.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Put that on the consent agenda. Move down to number 9. It's just the announcement of an auction Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. This is over in the Back Valley area. It's been online for weeks and weeks here. It's 32 acres, some really good land. There's only, there's a couple of, one change is all, Robin's taking care of that. There was a road that had been there for years and years, since the wagon days on the corner of it, and we've cut that out of that number 5. It's not a great big change, but that will not be part of the sale. It does not go, because it goes actually up to a home up there that's built on the hill, new house, and so other than that, there's no changes on the plat or anything. They'll be up there tomorrow. They said they'll be able tomorrow setting up everything, the tents and everything, and they'll start promptly at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, rain or shine. So anybody wants to come over, what do you want to bid or just kind of look? It'd be pretty interesting if you've never been to a land sale to watch it happen. All right, move down to number 10. This is a non-action item. We did have our meeting today at 1:30. Had a good turnout of the Joint Comprehensive Plan, a 5-year update. It was lengthy. I mean, it was a long meeting, and there was a lot of things discussed in the meeting, and I think it was a positive meeting. You want to comment on it, Don? I mean,
Yeah, it was a good meeting. We are still looking for surveys. If you haven't done that yet, we would ask you please to consider going online. It's on our website. Maybe Carrie can put it up on the TV right now, or what you see at home. There's a QR code you can click on with your phone, a smartphone, or you can just go into the website. It's 16 questions?
I think it
Pretty
was, yeah,
simple.
16.
It takes maybe 5 minutes to complete, but it gives us an idea of the community. We were excited to have 200 or 300. We have 900, so I'm shooting for 1,600. That's 10% of the county. That'd be awesome. We would almost beat Gilmer County, which would be impossible because they have 2,000. But we've already beat Walker County, but don't tell anybody. And it's not a competition, but
yeah.
feels a little good.
Gives it people participate.
It is, it's great. And if you don't have a way to do it online, if you will stop by here, we'll have some paper copies. We'll try to get those to the senior center, to the library, and here at our office, maybe the tax commissioner's office, the chamber, the welcome center. And that way everyone has an opportunity to fill that out, and then we'll collect those and take a look at the information. And he went through it today out of the 900 we've received. And it's pretty impressive, pretty interesting. All right, Carrie says there are copies at the Welcome Center and the library.
Okay. We'll move down to number 11. This is a non-action item also, but this is something that we want to get started. This is, pertaining to our T-SPLOS referendum, which we're going to try to have it on the, and we got a schedule to keep to have it on the November ballot. And those of you that are not familiar with T-SPLOS, you need to look around Walker County over there. They've had it now for a number of years now, and it's amazing the roads, and they just keep paving. I mean, they're paving roads, and that is not coming out of their actual taxpayer money. I mean, it is, but it's not coming out of your property tax. It's coming out of that 1 penny, and it's just amazing that what they've done and still doing. There's roads over there that hadn't been paved in many, many years. That's fixed, and it's if there is a fair tax, that is the fairest tax. The actual 1 cent, because everyone throughout the whole country pays it. So we've got. We've already started the actual schedule. We've got a schedule to keep up with different things we have to have, and we'll begin that, and it'll be up to the people. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. To either vote for it or against it. So, anyway, anything else you want to add?
The November ballot is what we're shooting for, of course, not the May.
Not the May, but it'll be November. The real.
And last time, well, it's hard to believe it's been 4 years since we even took a look at it. And it'll be roads. We're just looking to pave roads.
Yep. Roads, bridges, anything pertaining to roads. And
we're not going to get complicated. Just pave roads.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and honestly, if we really look at it, we look at the money that's coming in, and of course it'd have to be agreed to with the commission. If it passes, there's a good possibility. We can look at our road budget and we'd be able to actually lower property taxes. I mean, we might even come up lower a meal or so. I mean, if you look at it, because that's what it's all about. I mean, you look at what we're spending now, and you wouldn't even have our paving and all. We could quadruple it. We're still going to get LMIG money. Yep. Then have a T-SPLOS, coming in, and of course T-SPLOS, all you can spend it on the roads and bridges and pertaining to roads. So, it's a big deal. I mean, it's and these other counties that's had it for years besides Walker, it's amazing to hear them talking, about just what they don't have a worry about fixing the roads. There's no more potholes. I mean, there's roads that you can, so it's a good thing, but it'll be up to people. It'll be up to people to build it in or out,
Maybe even extend Steel or whatever road that is. It's Steel Road where the train parks.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do.
3 times a week.
That's one road.
I understand there's one parked in Trenton all week, so.
No, well, it's been there, yeah, and they're supposed to break it up tomorrow. But it's got our Church Street, and it's also got the other crossing at the bank. It's been blocked all week long, and they're just using it for a parking lot. And it is inconvenient for a lot of people. A lot of people they got so used to going to the bank and going on down, take some garbage off or whatever. That's a main route for, but the railroad, they're pretty independent, So. Anything else y'all want to bring to the table while we're here? If not, we'll go and we'll adjourn for about maybe 5 minutes and take a little break, and then we'll go into our regular meeting. This meeting is adjourned.